Mr. President, we in Malawi are also glad to reiterate the fact that as we look to the Sustainable Development Goals, we can draw international pride and inspiration from the achievements we have made collectively on MDG Goal number 6, which is to do with halting and reversing the HIV and AIDS epidemic. Under this goal, we aim to put 50 million people on treatment globally, and can stand here today and boldly declare that we made this target. As we look to the Sustainable Development Agenda, we must commit as an international community to end AIDS as a public health threat and to finish the business of HIV and AIDS by 2030. My government has already committed to doing so, and current evidence shows that Malawi is well on the way to achieving this goal. Together, we can end AIDS by 2030, but it will require that we do business unusual. It will require that we fast-track HIV responses in line with the evidence of what works. But more importantly, it will require continued shared responsibility and global solidarity for financing HIV programs and enhancing the capacity of developing countries, such as Malawi, to manufacture drugs and make them more accessible to our people. Having said that, Mr. President, let me also reiterate what I've said, always maintained, that all the above wonderful programs will be realized when, as a global family, we not leave the youth and our human behind. In Malawi, and I believe almost all developed countries, the youth and women constitute the majority of our population. Therefore, it is only natural that they are adequately represented at all decision-making levels of society. Late President Mandela of South Africa once said, quote, "As long as a nation refuses to acknowledge the equal role of more than half of itself, it is doomed to fail." End of quote. This is a fact, and I couldn't agree more. Ladies and gentlemen, let me commend President Xi Jinping of China and UN Secretary General to the officers of the UN Women for organizing on the margins of this assembly the Global Leaders Meeting on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment, a commitment to action. Planet 50-50 by 20, Step Up for Gender Equality, to which numbers of leaders made national commitments, including Malawi. My government is committed to the He for She campaign to address gender inequalities and end gender-based violence, promote women in political participation, and facilitate the economic empowerment of women. It has therefore been singled out as one of the core priority areas of a revised My Growth and Development Strategy as blueprint of Malawi's development. Malawi also took advantage of this forum to host a side event entitled High-Level Event and Share Perspective on Demographic Dividend and Investing in Youth, which we hope will successfully lead to an improved coordination, commitment, and support for our youth empowerment and development for Africa. We have expressed the desire that, quote, for shared prosperity and well-being, for unity and integration, for a continent where the full potential of women and youth are realized, and with freedom from fear, disease, and want, end of quote. Now, as others taking the floor have said earlier, 2 days ago, we adopted the Sustainable Development Goals. That was brilliant. However, allow me to isolate SDG 4 that speaks of education. As a champion of higher education in Africa, I wish to reiterate, in no uncertain terms, that all the brilliant resolutions and decisions come out of this great forum, and many other similar forums across the world, will fall flat on their face if countries ignore to educate their people, especially the youth, more so for the girl child in this way. In this vein, I'm pleased to note that Sustainable Development Goal number 4 is about ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning. However, it does not fully capture the centrality of higher education to achieving the wider Sustainable Development Goals and targets. Allow me to express gratitude to those partners that continue to stand with us to promote higher education in Africa. With improved and increased access to higher education, the world will strike a massive blow at poverty. Mr. President, in fulfilling its national and international responsibility, my government recognizes the cross-cutting role of respect, protection of people's human rights, and the rule of law. My government will continue to promote human rights by, among others, enhancing awareness of human rights, promoting equitable access to opportunities, and strengthening legal protection. Full employment of people's human rights cannot be achieved in a society full of fraud, corruption, and theft of public resources. These vices must be dealt with in order to protect people's human rights and ensure delivery of expert services from their government. Our government has therefore always been committed to fighting against corruption, fraud, and theft. It's against this background that we are pursuing and prosecuting suspects in the theft of public funds. God bless the UN family. Thank you.
En nombre de la Asamblea General, doy las gracias al presidente, ministro de Defensa, comandante en jefe de la Fuerza de Defensa y del Servicio